Marcus, great question. Of course, we had a tough blow the other day, losing Gerald McCoy, but at the same time, we were signing Everson Griffin from Minnesota. So, as I like to say, player acquisitions 365 days a year. But we do have high expectations for this defense. We did a lot of work in the offseason, obviously with McCoy and then Poe and then Aldon Smith, and I feel like we had a great draft that included Gallimore, our defensive tackle from Oklahoma. So our front, we feel like, is as strong as it's been in years, and then really fired up about the young back end. So I think we can be a much improved defense to go with obviously what was a really strong offense last year, and certainly added to that with CD Lamb. Dak Cooper, great question. Of course, Coach McCarthy was involved, being the head coach of this team, and how players like that can improve us. You're obviously using resources, salary cap dollars, when you go for a player like Everson Griffin. But as he said, you can't have enough pass rushers, and to be optimistic, he's planning on scoring a lot of points, and hopefully we're going to be rushing the passer in the fourth quarter. As hopefully they're trying to come back on us. But no, he was all in for it, and it was a great opportunity for us. We have Coach George Edwards here on our staff, who coached Everson for many, many years with the Vikings, and had nothing but great things to say about him. Not only is he a great player on the field, but he's certainly an even better man off the field. So we really think we improved our football team. Stu, great to hear from you. One of the things we do, and someone mentioned earlier, player, in terms of our free agency before the draft, we did a lot of work to shore up all our needs. And when you do that, you can take the best player available, and certainly we felt like that was CD Lamb this year. I think he steps in right away. One of the great things about our receivers is they're versatile. They can play inside, outside, but I sure see CD stepping in early and often in that slot position in terms of helping our offense there, and working with Amari and Michael Gallup. Thank you for the question. Not unlike the virtual draft this year, I know one thing for sure, under Will McClay's leadership, we'll embrace it. We did that with the virtual draft. I felt like we got on top of it when other organizations were looking for ways to delay the draft, put it off. We were hard at work. I know he's looking at options in terms of all the different ways we'll have to evaluate if some of these schools don't play football, which may be the case. Certainly we'll have some traditional scouting going on as well if some of these schools do play. But I'm betting on our scouting department that we're going to get in there, roll up our sleeves, and get all the information that we can get our hands on to have success and have another great draft. Well, it's a good question. You must be from TCU. But at the end of the day, obviously Dak Prescott's the leader of this football team. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. We've been working diligently to try to get his deal done. I still feel very confident that we will. But at the same time, we also know that sometimes you have to have a backup quarterback, to get to the big game. Obviously, Philly did it with Foles a couple years ago, and we feel like we got that quality of a player in Andy Dalton, that if something did happen to Dak, that he'd step up in a big way. He's been a winner up there in Cincinnati, and it's great to have him back home. Well, you can't argue with championships, and probably the first one was the sweetest one. They were all good, the 3 Super Bowl championships, but winning that first one was, certainly you understood at that point what you were involved in. We were fortunate in that it happened early for us, but at the same time, what's killing us right now is it's been way too long since we have won one, and I know if when we ultimately do get our hands on that next Lombardi trophy, it may be the sweetest moment of all because we'll appreciate all the work that it takes to win a championship and to hoist the Lombardi Trophy. Gaming bell, I'd say a 10 plus. Very, very good.